In this tutorial, you can see that we are going to have a play with the morpher tool on our plane using two attractor points to be able to generate different openings and closings. So let's begin. First up, we're just going to create our plane. I'm just going to increase the length and width segments to about 10. And now I'm going to convert this to an edit poly. What we want to do now is we're just going to select all the faces and give it an inset. So click on your inset button and we're just going to inset by poly and give it a little bit of thickness. So now we have got our inset at about 0.25 centimeters. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to click on delete mesh to delete the inner faces of our polygon. Next, I'll apply another edit poly, and this time I'll add in morpher tool. So we are just going to add some channel lists. So the first channel, we're going to name it as 1. This will be our first stage on our channel list. And now I'm going to adjust the inset so that it's a lot smaller than before. Go back to your morpher and I'm going to fill in the second empty slot this time and capture this second state as number 2. Go back to your channel list and make sure that your first channel is set to 100. That way you can control how you want your openings and closings to look. Now I'm just going to go back to edit poly, select on vertex and use their soft selection. I'm going to increase the fall off distance at this particular point in the corner until I envelope the entire plane. So now that we've kind of set up our morpher tool, what we want to do is create a sphere, and this will kind of form our first attraction point. I'm gonna select on this sphere, just adjust it so that it's hovering slightly above, and now I will use the volume select modifier tool. In this modifier, we just want to set our sphere as the first volume. Make sure we select our sphere. Now that it's tied to the modifier, make sure we select on vertex. We're going to use soft selection and increase the fall off until it envelopes the entire plane. Just pull it back a little bit until we are happy with how responsive we want our openings to be. Just going to set it to about there. And then maybe change it to 260. So now we've kind of got our first volume. If we adjust the layer, we can see that it now influences our morpher layer and the openings start to open and contract based on the distance it is with our attractor point. So I'm just going to move this sphere to this corner, and what we want to do this time is to add a second clone. So create a copy by holding down Shift, and we're just going to copy our volume select modifier and paste it again. This time we are going to select our second sphere as our second attractor point, and make sure the selection method is add. So now if we go to plan view, we can see the color gradients that we've got two attractor points that the openings will open and contract and respond to, the first and second sphere. So now if you select on both your spheres, you can see that the closer it is, the openings start to become larger, and the further away our sphere attraction point is, the openings contract a lot more. So I'm just going to go back to our edit poly because I want to make the opening and contractions a little bit more obvious. So I'm going to go back to our inset and I'm going to increase the amount of inset that we have. And once I am happy with that, we can see very clearly here how our attraction points move. And there you have it. If you select your spheres, you can see how the plane is now going to respond like so.